Hi, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I'm Shay and I like to read. It is day one of Bookmas and today I'm going to be talking about my 2026 journal / planner ecosystem. I have been intentionally building this ecosystem since the summer. I've always been a notebook girly. I love taking pen to paper, but in the last 5 years I was doing a lot of my day-to-day planning in Notion, and over the summer I just got really irritated with all of the AI features that they were putting out, so I did a hard pivot back to my roots as an analog planner, and since then I've just dove headfirst into the online planner and journal community. I really love it here, and my bank account is not happy with me, but I'm happy with me, so here we are. Before I get into the video, I do want to give a disclaimer specifically for people who may be new to planning and journaling and are looking to kind of build an ecosystem. I would tell you right now, please start simple. Start with the notebook and the pen that you have that you bought years ago that you never use anymore. Get into a routine first, and then from there figure out what you like, what you don't like, what you feel that you can add or subtract. Do not buy all of the things because you will inevitably either not use what you've bought, feel overwhelmed and just quit altogether. Like, I feel like a lot of us have been in that space where we have like shiny object syndrome and we just want all the things because we see everyone else using them and it looks pretty and it looks ideal, but it ends up not working for what we need specifically. Yes, you can get inspiration from what I have here, but don't think that it has to look exactly the same as what mine is. I've been trying to be very thoughtful about what I spend my money on when it comes to planning and journaling because, like I said, I've always been a planner and I've gone through like buying all the things and not necessarily using them. So that's my disclaimer for all the newbies, and if you are not new to this, I hope you get some inspiration as well. When I was thinking about my 2026 journal ecosystem, I organized it into 4 different categories, starting with the most functional to the more aesthetic, and those categories are foundation, reference, creation, and vision. Organizing like that has seemed to work for my more day-to-day and weekly planning, so I think I'm gonna stick with that type of organization for the time being. But enough talking, let's just get into my ecosystem. This first stack is all of my foundation planners. These are very functional for me. I am in them every day, if not every other day. The first being my everyday carry. This is a new iteration of an everyday carry. I got basically everything that's in here from Cloth and Paper, and it is a pocket size ring bound planner. Everything that's in here is for like monthly overview planning. I have these monthly inserts where it's just a heat map of everything that I have going on. I carry this with me as I'm out and about, so I just like to know without looking on my phone what I have going on in the month. The next section in here are these daily wellness inserts. I'm trying to be a bit more mindful about just my physical wellness and mental wellness, so I can write affirmations and notes, checking in with my sleep schedule, my water intake, what I'm eating, any activity that I do. And it's just for me to sit down and like think about how I'm prioritizing my physical wellness. I'm not the very best at this, but I know that I use this every single day, so if I know that these are in here, it'll make me think about taking care of myself. And then the last section are just these graph notebooks. My everyday carry will always have an inbox, I guess, for me. I am not taking all of my journals with me out and about, so whenever I have an idea or I need to remember that I spent cash on something to put in my financial planner, when I'm going to the grocery store, I have my grocery list in here. It's just a brain dump for me of everything that I need to then put in a different planner or a different journal. So that is my everyday carry. I love her so much. She's so small and it's just very convenient to have. Next is a Sterling ink planner. I have it in this like traveler's notebook thing that I got from Etsy when I was first thinking about my journal ecosystem. It was relatively cheap and something that I could like act as a baseline for me. It has seen many different iterations. Right now it just holds my 25-26 common planner from Sterling Ink. I was using this as general life admin, and I will tell you right now this is a placeholder for what I will be using in 2026 as my life admin planner. I think it worked for the time being. I got this in September, and since then I've been using it consistently. I am writing down all of like my tasks, meal plans. I do habit tracking in here. It's also a horizontal weekly, so it's kind of set up like a Hobonichi weekly planner, but I am not a fan of this size. This is what Sterling Ink calls N1. If you are familiar with Traveler's Company, it's their regular size. It's a very weird size for me to plan in, so I was trying to hold out. I added all these stickers to it and put it in here to like give myself some novelty with it, but it's just not working for me. I did order some from Cloth and Paper, which I will tell y'all now, a lot of things in this journal ecosystem are from Cloth and Paper. I love that brand so much. Another thing I wasn't really a fan of is I got a full year planner instead of compact, so it has all these blank pages that once I got it and started using it, I'm like, I know that I'm not going to fill this. If I ever do return to Sterling Ink, which I feel like I possibly could, I would definitely get a different size and I would get it in compact because I'm not using all this paper. However, just because I'm not using this for 2026, or at least I don't plan to, I'm still going to use this just as a notebook. The paper quality is really good, and I always just keep a lot of my old notebooks and planners as scratch paper to have around my desk, around my apartment, so I'm not like wasting money. And then the final thing that I have is another Sterling Ink. This is the 2026 Common Planner. The size is B6 and it's a compact planner, and I use this as like budgeting and financing. It's another horizontal weekly. I'm gonna take these pencil boards out because they will fall out. And I just use this to track all of my expenses, all of my income, and it's very practical. Like I said, there's nothing fancy or cute about it. It's just a way for me to have a handle on my finances. This next stack are all of my reference journals. This is more so like input for me. I love to read, obviously, and I love just media in general, so that's what a lot of these things focus on. I'm gonna start with my reading journal, my Pride and Joy, my baby. I, of course, fell down the rabbit hole of like Louise Carmen talk and wanting a Louise Carmen until I saw that price. Then I eventually found all the people who were creating their own Louise Carmen inspired journals, so I did do that. I have made quite a few of these, but this is the one that I use most often. I always keep a bookmark here. I hardly use this as a bookmark. And then a pen, as always. I use a Pilot G2. This is my like introduction to pens and having a favorite pen. And in here I have a bunch of different inserts. I have this like vinyl insert that I keep page tabs and pens. On the other side I have like bookmarks and then some bookish stickers and like Polaroid pictures. But this first insert is from Paper Republic. It's a dotted insert, and I've just been adding all of the books that I've read in 2025 with a star rating. It's very simple, it's very like sleek, I feel like, and it's just a way for me to keep a very basic log of all of the books that I'm reading and rating. And this next insert is a Leuchtturm. I never know how to say it. It's a Leuchtturm notebook and it's blank pages. I actually don't really like these stickers, so I'm gonna take quite a few off and like redecorate them with stickers that I have. Inside, the setup initially was very simple. I don't know if y'all can see this, but the format that I had was basically writing out the title, author, genres, rating of a book, and then the dates that I read them up top here, and just whatever I felt like writing about the book. So this is a very like basic one. I didn't write too much. This is just my review at the end. But sometimes, let's see, this is Erasure by Percival Everett, where I have quotes and I have like my thoughts as I'm reading and different themes that I found. Like, it just depended on the book. Sometimes, again, it's very simple, like one page. Other times it spanned multiple pages. This was how I set it up when I was only reading one book at a time. And at some point I started reading multiple books. So I switched up my format to be more of a commonplace notebook. So I have this key here, and the key really just has quotes, themes, which I hardly use, honestly, and then star for review, a little thought bubble for any reflection, notes that I have, and then like arrows for connection if I'm connecting it to either a song or another book or an idea that someone else has had. I actually really love this setup. I've been writing in cursive a lot more. I feel like that just looks very aesthetically pleasing. I'm filling up all the pages, and I think once I finish this insert, I'm gonna switch to a dotted notebook. I have just been like adding the lines myself with the ruler, but I want something easier for me to do that. I've just been like measuring it with a ruler and then drawing it out. That's what I use as a reading journal. This last insert used to be a research notebook for my thesis project when I was in grad school. My project was about the Black diaspora in digital spaces, so I have kind of continued that in some sense now that I've graduated, and I've also set this up as like a commonplace notebook, and wherever I see the Black diaspora in books, in media, in film, TV shows, whatever, I document them here. So it's kind of like a continuation of my project. Grad school was mainly focused on social media and like the internet space. I just love that topic so much. I love researching it, and I'm going to continue that research just personally for the time being. That's how I've been using my reading journal. I love her so much. I keep her on my nightstand because that's usually when I read at night. The second thing that I have is another baby of mine. This is my media journal. It is a cloth and paper clear vinyl traveler's notebook cover in size A5 slim. And the thing that I love about this is that because it's clear, I can put whatever I want here at the front and decorate it the way that I want. This is something that I like tore out of an Essence magazine. These two things are cloth and paper like journal cards that they have in a lot of their intention boxes, and sometimes they just send stuff with a package that you get delivered from them. And then this last thing, I'm pretty sure was from something that I got from Victoria's Secret in the mail. Just about everything here inside here except one thing is from cloth and paper, so just a forewarning. This first insert is a task planner. I was initially using this to, hold on, something similar to what I have in my reading journal. I was rating all of the media that I was consuming. The thing is, I really don't watch a lot of new TV shows or movies. I love to rewatch those things, but I read a lot of new books. So this felt really like a duplicate of what I was doing in my reading journal. I don't have a lot of other like shows or media that was different from books. So I scrapped that, and I'm just gonna continue using this as a overview of any reading challenges that I'm doing. If I'm working on a personal curriculum, I can write that stuff there. And the second insert is a dotted notebook from Etsy. I got this when I was first like thinking about traveler's notebooks. I initially was using this as like a social media analytics tracker, and then I decided I didn't care. So I have turned this into another type of commonplace notebook. I feel like this is the original setup where one half or like one side of the page are for notes, and then in the margins are your own thoughts about whatever you're taking your notes on. I've been picking this up quite a lot lately. I really enjoy learning and just writing out notes and having a place for my own thoughts. So I think I'm going to keep this up. This next insert, I have like page flags and sticky notes and page pins and stickers, all from cloth and paper, of course. And my last insert is a graph insert from cloth and paper. I haven't figured out what I want to do with this yet. I'm debating if after I finish this insert, I'll just continue like all of my media journaling in here. Once I got this insert, I realized that I don't prefer graph paper for like commonplacing. I would prefer a dotted notebook, but this is what I have, so it's probably what I'm gonna use unless I think of another like use case for this. So this is my media journal. I love her so much. She's so cute. This next notebook is an undated weekly planner. Guess where it's from, y'all? cloth and paper, and this is another new one for me. I've been using this as a media log. I have this bookmark in here. I've only had it for about 3 weeks now. I really just write out everything that I'm reading and watching. It's just a bit more detailed, so if it's a TV show, I'll write out the season and the episodes that I've watched. For books, I write out the page numbers, or if I'm listening to an audiobook, it'll be the times that I read. And it's an undated horizontal notebook. On this side is just all of the dates that I would put in, and then this side is blank. How I've been using it is just writing out what I've been prioritizing this week in terms of media. My 6 before 2026, one of the classes that I made for myself for my Q4 personal curriculum was Black classic films, so I've written that out there. And this week I was rewatching all the first seasons of Stranger Things to get ready for the last season, and I have the episode drop dates here. I have not started season 5 yet. I'm waiting for it to be a little bit closer to the 31st to start because I don't want to wait for any of the episodes. And this is this week. It's the week of Christmas, so I haven't written anything out here. I think I'm just gonna write out some of my favorite Christmas movies, or just Christmas movies in general. So this is a newer addition to my whole ecosystem. I've been enjoying it so far. I like that it's undated, so if there's ever a time or a week that I just don't care to do this, it's not a big deal if I skip a week, or if maybe I want to turn this into a different type of planner, I can always do that as well. This next stack is from the creation part of my ecosystem. This is all about output for me, so I'm gonna go with another baby of mine. This notebook here is a Rhodia lined notebook. I was using this as my morning pages. I don't do morning pages anymore, but I always keep it with my writing journal as a reminder that if I want to return to a morning writing ritual, this is always there for me. This lovely thing is a Paper Republic. I got the dotted bundle for 30% off because I found a discount code on TikTok, and I am in love with her. I love how the leather has patinaed a bit over time, and I can't wait to see how it patinas even more. But I only have 2 inserts in here. They're all from Paper Republic, and this first one I just put any writing ideas, writing notes about craft, and then this insert is just for writing. I like to write all of my first drafts by hand. I think because I grew up having to write papers by hand in class, it just flows a lot better for me. I hate looking at a blank screen and thinking about what to type. Next, I have my social media planners. This is what I was using for the end of 2025. It's a Hobonichi April start planner. I just wanted to make sure that I like this setup for planning for social, and I do. I use this every week. In the weekly setup, I would just write out all of my posts, and then on this side, if there were a ton of posts that I was scheduling in the next 1 or 2 weeks, I would make sure I write all of those things down. If I had any content ideas, if I needed to outline a post that I'm working on this week in a bit more detail, and then at the back of the book is just blank pages, and I do more outlining videos that I'm working on, longer brain dumps for content ideas. This is very functional as well, but it's functional for creative output, so I put this in the creation stage. I will be switching over to a 2026 Kinbor Weeks. This is a much cheaper Hobonichi dupe, and I am not mad at it. It's essentially the exact same as a Hobonichi, but much cheaper. So I'm going to be working in this, and I actually feel like I prefer this better. I like the look and feel of it a bit more. I like that the pages in here are a bit warmer, but other than that, it's a very comparable dupe. So if you are thinking about getting a Hobonichi Weeks, but you don't want to spend the money, I would say look at a Kinbor Weeks. It's basically the same thing. This final stack are my vision planners journals. This first thing, of course, is from Cloth and Paper, and it is a inverted graph notebook, so they're black pages, and I use this as a creative vision board, creative mood board. Anything could go here that feels my creative side. I can kind of show you this page. I don't want to show the words that are written on here. I did like a mood board. I got these from an Etsy magazine. I have like a winter dopamine menu and some quotes that I like hear in different videos or podcasts that I'm listening to. It's just a place for me to dump like all of the creative inspo that I am coming across in my life, and I have been very intentional about using this a bit more. When I first got it, I wasn't picking it up as much, but I'm trying to like get into the mindset of just always feeding my creative self. My last planner is from, of course, Cloth and Paper. This is what I'm using to set goals for myself in 2026. I'm not going to go through everything in here because it's very like straightforward. I did some reflection on 2025. I wrote out all of my accomplishments, and then for my goal planning in 2026, I'm using I'll show you this. I'm using like the yearly overview inserts from Cloth and Paper, and it's just a way for me to think about the year in chunks. I'm setting goals for each quarter of the year, which I'll like write out here in this notes section, and then I'll have tasks associated with, if I, let's say, want to post on YouTube once a week, like what are all the tasks that I need to get done within the quarter. I feel like that was a bad example, but you get the point. These next inserts are goal mapping inserts. It's broken down into 6 different weeks. So the goal that I have, the first one that I've used, is just to like build my physical wellness routine. And then on the back, it has like a pie chart, and you can say what your goal is, have a start date, and then if you have any rewards that you want to give yourself once you meet this goal. I have a few of those pages, and then at the back are just more like graph inserts that I'm going to do all of my monthly reflections in. That is my 2026 journal / planner ecosystem. It may seem like a lot, but this all really does work for me, and I found that I am just a bit better every single day because of this. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, please let me know in the comments if you are a digital or analog planner, and I'll see y'all for Bookmas Day 2.